Hey everybody, welcome to a special post-Slammiversary edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Slammiversary just wrapped up. Got a lot of questions here, so let's get right down to it. Alright, the first one tonight comes from Team Hell Punk. What did you think of Slammiversary this year? Personally, I thought it was a great pay-per-view from top to bottom and one of TNA's best in a long time. Even the Knockouts match was great. Your thoughts? Overall, I thought it was a very solid pay-per-view from TNA. Most of the matches were very good from top to bottom. It was a very solid show. The X Division match was very good. The tag titles match was good. Angle and AJ Styles was really good as usual, as expected. And the main event was very good with Sting and Bully Ray. They had a lot of chair shots. The chair got all bent up. Bully Ray was exposing the boards under the canvas. So, I mean, it was kind of cool. I thought I would definitely give it a thumbs up. And the Knockouts match, Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim, one of the best women's matches from either promotion in a long time. I mean, really good stuff from them, and they really worked hard in that match. So kudos to both of them. Next question here from Castelli19. Hey Aaron, why in WWE Divas division don't we see matches like the ones at Slammiversary between the Knockouts? Lack of interest? If that's the case, why WWE doesn't discontinue the Divas title or division? Well, in WWE, the Divas division has always been primarily about the eye candy and just the Divas coming out and looking hot, and the wrestling is secondary. In TNA, they've always tried to make it more about the wrestling, and over the years, TNA has had a better roster of women's wrestlers. Gail Kim is one of the best women's wrestlers in the country, and TNA utilizes her well. And they used to push Awesome Kong for a while. The match at Slammiversary was very physical, and we just don't see that in WWE. The WWE divas are mostly there to look pretty and sell calendars, and I mean that's the bottom line. But maybe one day WWE will change, and they will let the divas go out there and have more physical matches and have them take more risks. But for now, it's just it's basically filler. The divas go out there, look pretty, have a 3-minute match, and that's the end of it. All right, this one comes from Peter Scott Jones. Now that Kurt Angle has been inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, do you see him coming back to WWE for one last run? Well, Kurt Angle himself has said that he's open to coming back to WWE at some point. I don't see Kurt Angle ever coming back to WWE on a full-time basis. I think if he ever does come back to WWE, it would need to be on a limited schedule, something similar to Brock Lesnar, where he comes in, maybe does 3 or 4 pay-per-views a year, and that's it. He's just too old now, and he would break down really easily if he tried to do a full-time WWE schedule. At TNA, I mean, it works out great for him, and he has a good thing going with TNA, and obviously he has a great relationship with Dixie Carter, and they're paying him well, and he can just go out there and have his great matches and get paid to do it. I mean, so there's really no need for him to go back to WWE right now and, really take the risks, on a big stage where he could be risking serious injury or even worse. So I think that Kurt will stay in TNA for the time being. Maybe in a year or two he'll come back to WWE for one last run, and I hope it happens. I hope he does come back, and he could have a few more great matches in WWE and then go into the WWE Hall of Fame. I certainly wonder if him going into the TNA Hall of Fame was their way of trying to keep him happy so he'll stick around with them. Because he did speak out that he would be interested in returning to WWE, and it's just weird. A lot of people complained about. I got another question here. Do you think that Jeff Jarrett should have been inducted instead of Kurt Angle? One could argue either way about it. Jeff Jarrett was one of the guys that started TNA. Him and his father founded it. But Kurt Angle arguably has been TNA's biggest draw. I mean, to be honest, I think that Kurt Angle has probably brought more eyeballs to the TNA product than anybody else. I mean, obviously Hulk Hogan brought in a lot of people when he first came in, but I just think overall, in terms of getting new people to watch TNA and stick with TNA, I think Kurt Angle has been the most important person in TNA history on that level. And certainly in terms of in-ring performances, Kurt Angle is the best of the best. So he absolutely deserves to be in the TNA Hall of Fame. But same can be said for Jeff Jarrett, and not sure why they haven't put him in yet, or put him in first and then do Kurt Angle next year, other than just trying to keep Kurt Angle happy, so he'll stay with them and his morale stays high. And I got one more here from Peter Scott Jones. Now that Sting cannot wrestle for the TNA Heavyweight title, what do you see TNA doing with his character in the near future? Well, stipulations are always meant to be broken, and we've seen it time and time again where there's a stipulation and they end up going back on it. Like Bully Ray can say, you can wrestle for the title if you do this, or they can do any number of things. So wouldn't surprise me to see him compete for the TNA title again. But then again, maybe Sting is maybe this is really coming close to the end for him. Maybe he's made a decision to finally step away and decided to do this stipulation to help get Bully Ray over. I mean, nobody knows but Sting, but that could be the reason for it, or maybe TNA just tried to increase the buy rates by having this stipulation, and then they'll just go back on it 6 months thinking that everybody forgot about it. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, this one comes from Bazman1983. Hey Aaron, congrats on the 30K subs. Question: what is your opinion on the Mark Henry and China segments on Raw back on November 30th, 1998 when they were in Baltimore? Personally, I thought it was great having D'Lo as the driver and China really not giving a damn. I thought that was actually a very entertaining segment, and that segment helped establish the sexual chocolate Mark Henry character, and it made him more than one-dimensional. I mean, up to that point, he was just the world's strongest man and just this big, muscular, mean-looking guy. So this added some depth to his character. And, it helped get China over as well as this powerful female. And, she gave in and went on the date with him. And I just really liked the segment a lot. And I think it helped get all of them over. And, it was one of those entertaining moments of the Attitude Era. So definitely a thumbs up back in the day. All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey Aaron, what is your favorite Hell in a Cell match ever? Mine is without a doubt Triple H versus Cactus Jack from No Way Out 2000. Well, I have to say that the original Hell in a Cell match was the best. I don't think that anything could top that match. That match set a standard and raised the bar so high. But then again, the second Hell in a Cell match, well, the second one that aired on pay-per-view, Mankind versus The Undertaker, I mean, that match was just crazy for the obvious reasons. Mick Foley being thrown off the cell and being slammed through the cell. Everything about that match was insane. But, the first one, it had everything you could ask for in a wrestling match. It just had Shawn Michaels bumping like crazy, Undertaker beating the crap out of him. You had blood. You had Shawn Michaels falling through the table. You had Kane making his debut. So there was just so many memorable moments about that first Hell in a Cell match. But the No Way Out match was pretty good as well. Definitely one of the better Hell in a Cell matches. All right, this one comes from Clarky Mark. Hello, first time poster. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Karma / Awesome Kong, and if she will come back and kick the living daylights out of the Bella Twins? Did you like her on TNA as Awesome Kong? And your thoughts on her in general, really. I also got another question here, so I'll mention this one as well, from CPW1987. Cheers to the best wrestling info site ever. Here's a good one. Instead of a Paul Heyman guy, how about a Paul Heyman woman? The Divas division is lackluster, and I'm sure Paul can dig up an actual girl who can wrestle. Please reply in video. I was asked this question about Awesome Kong. If WWE was to bring back Awesome Kong, that might actually be a good way to bring her back. Have her be affiliated with Paul Heyman and make her a Paul Heyman woman. I actually think that that's a good idea. I definitely think WWE should bring back Awesome Kong at some point as Karma. She had so much potential in WWE, and it's just really unfortunate that her push got stopped and she ended up getting pregnant. and then had the miscarriage or whatever, and then she was let go. I mean, that was just really unfortunate. And I think if Steve Austin thinks highly of you, then you have something special. And WWE should have done more with her. I don't know if she's going to feud with the Bella Twins again. I mean, it's been so long since that angle happened. I don't even know if a lot of the current audience would even remember it. But yeah, I think WWE should give her another shot at some point. And I mean, one of the best female competitors in recent years, no doubt about it. So hopefully she gets another opportunity at some point. All right, this one comes from Default Mark. Hey Aaron, greetings from the UK. What are your views on Jay Lethal? I thought the stuff he was doing with Ric Flair was really entertaining. In my opinion, it's a shame the company let him go. Jay Lethal definitely has a lot of talent. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him doing the Black Machismo gimmick. I just thought that doing a wrestler impersonation gimmick is only going to get you so far. I mean, it really does scream lower mid-card. I didn't see much upward mobility with that gimmick. But, just him by himself as Jay Lethal, I mean, he's very entertaining. He does the impressions really well. Same thing with the Ric Flair impression. But, just do it as a one-time thing. Don't make it a recurring deal where every week you're doing the impression and you basically just become a knockoff of a way more famous wrestler. So I think that was a problem with him, and I think that hurt his career a lot in TNA, actually doing that Black Machismo gimmick for so long. I mean, it got ridiculous, and they had SoCal Val as Elizabeth. I mean, it was just it was basically just a parody. I mean, I didn't care for it at all. Maybe TNA will bring him back at some point. Guy's got a lot of talent, so I don't feel he reached his full potential in TNA for sure. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest post-Slammiversary news and notes. And stay tuned to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter about NoDQ&A video. Tell anybody you know who watches wrestling. Have them check out NoDQ&A video. And I'll see you next time for more.